just because you're over it.
I'm just gonna let it ride this time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it ride.
Do it.
I mean, but you're right though. The pandemic is not over just because you're over it.
Right.
I hope people would get that, but
that's why I keep saying it, because we still need to wear masks and stay inside.
Distance, chill out, y'all, man.
Like next week they see us together, it's like we're back in the same room. It's like,
yeah,
like, y'all said the pandemic wasn't over. It's not.
I said that.
But also, we're both clean.
I know. So hopefully we'll get there. But yeah. So for those who don't know, this is the Community Coalition Show.
It was good, gang.
You know, K Wilson, David 2K, man. We in this thing today. What's going on?
So y'all, what's good, bro? How you living?
I'm all right, man. Another week, getting the week off, trying to get it off right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm tired. I'm sore. This gym grind this morning, man. I was in that joint trying to kill myself, man.
I see. Really? Getting them gains.
Yeah, try and get them gains. Or should I say for me, try and get them losses, man. Try and live.
Right.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Just chilling at the house. I've actually been writing a lot. So yeah, trying to practice, trying to flex a little bit, see if I still got it.
I feel you. Yeah, gotta work the muscles in the brain, you know, like gotta work it.
Absolutely.
It's almost like you gotta make sure it's still working, man. We've been chilling for so long. That's why, like, for real, went to the gym like my first day back. Like I had gone to the gym. I had just been doing cardio stuff, like biking it.
Right.
So late last week was my first time lifting weights since the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay.
You know,
how'd that go?
Man. I couldn't move my back right now, my shoulders, my arms, you know, and I didn't even try to go ham. You know, sometimes you go back, you feeling good, you're like, I'm about to go ahead and just go crazy.
Right. I'm about to hit a new PR today.
Yeah, so I knew, I said, no, I'm going to chill. I'm going to take it light. Some of these machines, you know, a little shoulder press, little, you know, chest machine, all that, like, still, man. Didn't realize how weak, you know, your muscles feel so weak.
Right.
It's going to take, you know, it's going to take a little while to, like, shake off just the soreness and the rust. I'm good, though. You know, it's a good sore. It's a good, you know, getting back. So I'm straight, though.
Right. I had homies that I used to live with. They were brothers. I lived with their family, and they went to the gym pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you like even take one day off, it's going to hit you.
You feel it, yeah. I was going right before quarantine. I was going about 4 times a week.
That's good.
I was busting it, and it was easy to do. You know, like I was working it in my schedule. You know, I got the gym membership, so I pretty much where I was, there was one around.
Right.
But it was straight though. It was straight. So now it's like, you know, I had just been like, didn't want to get back in the gym, like, you know, like,
right,
quarantining, really trying to quarantine, really trying to buy my food.
I feel like it's kind of like, it's almost like, especially right now during quarantine, I feel like it'll be kind of like New Year's Day, where it's like, or like New Year's, where people are like, all right, I'm getting back in the gym.
Yeah.
No excuses. And
like,
they stopped like a month in.
That's what I'm waiting on. Like, so I've been going, and I go early. Like, I'm in there 5:30, 6 a.m. I'll go later because I've seen it. Like, by the time I'm done, and I get in, I get out. So I'm in there like a half-hour max, you know. And cardio bust these weights real quick, and I'm out of there. By the time I'm leaving, when the sun is starting to come up,
I see some people who come.
Start flowing in. People start coming in. I'm like, you know what? I do not want to be there when it starts to get crowded. And even though they separated weights and they blocked off stuff, man, I still, so, you know, like.
Right, people sweat.
I'm bringing my own wipes. I bring my own stuff. Like, people still looking at me because I'm the dude, even before this, I'm the dude who wiped the machine down after I used it. You know, that's always.
Good on you.
Like, I'm a health guy. So, you know, I live in the world. But even now, I still see, like, I'm extra. before, I wipe it down after. I got my own bag. Like, I'm not playing with this stuff, you know?
Right.
But
good on you for being hygienic.
Well, it's nerve-wracking, man. It's nerve-wracking. Like, I don't really want to be there.
Right.
I knew I had to start doing more, and what I was trying to do in the house, it just wasn't working.
Right.
Distractions here, I couldn't catch a rhythm. There's certain things, I just couldn't do, and I was like, let me stop playing with myself and lying to myself. And something about, at least for me, going to the gym or going to work out.
Right.
Like that movement, I guess because it takes a little effort, to do that. It makes it worthwhile for me. So I'm thinking about myself. Yeah. So I was good. Yeah. Also too, last week got a COVID test.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that. Have you got it back yet?
Yeah, negative. Yeah.
Hey, COVID free.
Yeah. Which is that whole process in itself, man.
Right.
Right. And I really, because I went to the doctor. It's really part of my physical. Really didn't have any like real symptoms or nothing.
Right. You just wanted that satisfaction.
Yeah. Well, I was having these issues, and I think it came from like alcohol. A little bit of alcohol I was drinking.
Okay.
And I really, me, I don't drink much at all. But I started knowing. I started seeing. Last couple of weeks, like if I had a drink, my stomach would be toe up the next day. Even just one little drink. Like, what was that? 2 weeks ago, had a little bit of Crown, a little bit of cranberry, one glass.
Oh, that night.
That night, man. Woke up the next day like I was hurt. Stomach was jacked up, man.
Yeah.
I'm in the bathroom feeling like I'm, gave my life away.
I feel you.
So from that's what really spun me out. It's funny, I was calling the doctor. I forgot I had a whole physical scheduled anyway. Like I had put on the books like 6 months ago, forgot all about it. Called them like, hey, I'm not feeling good. And they were like, well, you got an appointment coming up like next week. So I was like, bet I'll be there. So doctor precaution, just run all the tests, run everything. So blood work, full physical. And she said, well, let's take a COVID test just in case.
Right.
Because she said some of the symptoms, they honestly, y'all, they're still trying to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Symptoms, like some of them are funky stuff. Like, so even the doctor was telling me, some of the stuff we still trying to figure out,
Right.
But she said, go ahead and get a COVID test just in case. So I said, all right, cool. Right. We can do it right here. So I'm like, okay. Like, all right, let's go. So I'm thinking they about to give me the long Q-tip all the way up the nose.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how'd they do it?
So it was just a small, but they just swapped right in the nostrils, like real quick.
Okay.
Swap, like got it out the way. But I'm nervous because I'm waiting because she said, let me go, because she had to go put on the whole gear. Whole gown, the face shield, the extra gloves. Right. We gonna do it. Let me just go prep, and I'll be right back. So I'm like, prep, like, oh man, they about to give me I'm about to get the brain drain. I'm in there like prepping, like I got this, I'm good. Like I'm like psyching myself up.
You're really psyching yourself out.
Straight, I'm like, hell yeah, like, yeah, let's go. I'm in the doctor. I'm in the waiting room by myself. Good, come on, man. It ain't gonna hurt. I'm be out there.
Yeah.
This man, I got it. With the little, like with the little tray prep. Looking like with a long one at. Like,
right.
Like I said, I'm expecting the joint to go up to the brain.
Right.
Oh, we don't have to do that one anymore. So I'm like, oh, regular Q-tip? Like, that's it. I'm like, that's it? Oh, man. All right. So it literally took like 2 seconds. Around the nostrils, swab. That was it.
Hey.
But I tell you, though, for some reason, I didn't feel like I had it, but that waiting process is like the longest.
How long did it take?
3 days. I got it on Wednesday. Got the results back on Friday.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how nerve-wracking that could be.
I equate it to, I remember years ago, I was a young man, and this precaution, I went to the STD test.
Okay.
You know, just out of precaution. Like I said, wasn't no symptoms, nothing crazy. But as I was getting older, I had some friends. You know, we all kind of like made an agreement, like we should go. You know, let's just go do that. We kind of, you know, we kind of been doing our thing. You know, nothing crazy. And I've never been a dude for like, you know, like I ain't taking no risk and all that stuff. Like,
nah,
just still, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm curious. I just said, you know, just so for my own knowledge, my own psyche, I just, you know, let me go do this. I don't know if you've ever taken one of those, but it's like a 2-week wait.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
I know they take your blood and like they'll be like, all right, we'll have the results in like however long.
It was like 2 weeks.
Oh.
I don't know if it's like a newer process now, but we're talking about like 10 plus years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they do blood work, draw your blood. You know, blood work, boom, boom, you in, you out. You know, I'm not squeamish at that stuff. So
right. Yeah, me neither.
Longest 2 weeks ever. Ever. And it's not, like I said, it's not even that you feeling something, it's just you don't know.
Right.
So I'm sitting there like, man, every day I'm like, I don't know, did they call? Like, you know, what's going on? Like, I remember getting a phone call, you know, seeing that number. I'm like, yo, this is like a local number. All right, let me go ahead and answer this, you know. But they were straight like, nah, you good. Like, you know, everything came negative. So I'm like, oh, all right. Like, and you look back like, why was I tripping? You know? But
I feel it.
But I'm telling you, there's something about that weight, something about that not knowing. I can see how that would drive someone mad, especially if you're experiencing symptoms, you know.
Right.
And then one thing they did throw out there with the COVID test, they do tell you, hey, we have gotten some false negatives. You know, so they tell you that, like kind of like a disclaimer, like, hey, we could be wrong. You know, you're negative, but we could be wrong.
Can't do that.
If you experience something, come on back. Like that. Like they pretty much said, like, you know,
they just gave you a commercial.
Yeah, they gave you like here's false negative. So it's like, you know, so even now I'm like, okay, you get it, you feel good, but it's like, are you really? Are you really good? That's what's wrong, you know. Like you go through, but it's, you know, the process itself, like it wasn't as bad as I thought. You know, people say like it's like the worst thing ever, at least, but it wasn't.
And now you got the chip in your nose now.
Yeah, that's what it was. I got the chip now. So they are monitoring me as we speak.
Right.
Yeah.
All your thoughts, all your everything.
I mean, if they didn't already, you know, I feel like social media, they got me. They know who I am. They try.
Bro, this is listening at all times.
All times. Man, I was having a conversation the other day. I went to search on something on Instagram, was like, come on, fam. There's no way they're going to send me an ad about this.
Every time.
Without listening. As a matter of fact, I know what it was, too. I was, I swear we was having a conversation about, because I was thinking about getting dye to dye my gray, right?
Right. Okay.
Like, maybe, you know, like, I don't know if I want to look so old. Maybe I get some dye, try it out. You know, so I was hearing about this new stuff where it's like real easy to rub in. Like, get pulled up. Damn near if I don't go on Instagram. Ads. What am I start seeing?
Every fourth post.
Like, I'm telling you, ads for hair dye.
Right.
And it's not just like any old hair. That's the joints with like black dudes in it. I'm like, nah, that's
hey,
man,
hey, hold up. At least there was representation.
Yeah, but you know it's a whole movie.
Right. There's a whole thing about that.
Yeah. So I'm like, whatever, man. Actually, I saw a post on that earlier too. Somebody posted like, how many of these apparently hair care product companies that black people use that black people don't own.
Right. That's been a big thing, bro.
Yeah, we'll go back to the old topics. But yeah, like apparently, so we were just talking about all that stuff. So that's why, like, now I'm seeing all the ads, all this now hair care stuff and beard dye and all these products and conditioners and stuff for my beard.
Right.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing that extra buff dude in the shower glistening his beard. I don't want to see them ads, man. I don't want to see big swole man, my muscles all.
Bro, I'm telling you, every fourth post is an ad.
It's getting annoying. It's
on IG.
It's not even just a die anymore. Now I got to see these buff dudes on this joint all day. Thanks. I got to on the shower.
Now you insecure.
In the shower. I don't need him to sell the product while the water is dripping down his biceps. Like, I don't need to see all that, man. I don't even know. And then he's got this extra glistening long beard. Mm-hmm. I can't grow my beard out. It doesn't go out.
Bro, I'm trying.
I got that beady, and then I got these gray hair. And gray hair, if y'all don't know, I don't know if anybody else's, but mine, they're hard. And of course, and like they're hard. They just don't agree with you. They just don't want to brush out. Mm-hmm. So they curl up and they get beady. And only the ones right here straight.
We should be, I mean, we're not sponsored by them, but Bevel.
Somebody, holler at us.
Yeah. Hey, Bevel, where you guys at?
Such is annoying, man.
Black owned.
Are they black owned? For sure.
They are.
Okay.
Tristan Walker.
Okay.
I think that's his name. Yeah.
Look, gotta be sure these days. Cause I saw some stuff on that list. I was like, dang.
Right.
Great exploitation on some of these names.
Yep.
Like I was looking at one of them joints, like African Pride and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, come on, man.
Like, that's African Pride made in Europe.
Come on, man. So now I'm just paranoid. I gotta be sure. I gotta go back, look at all my bottles, like make sure. One of them was on there. Mm-hmm. The beard oils I used that can too, because I like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh man, that joint's probably made by some Indonesians or something. I was mad, but so that's where I'm at. Like just looking at all this stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah, please, y'all, stop. Instagram, please stop sending me them ads. I don't want to see that.
That's not gonna stop happening. Like. The tablet is listening to my words as we speak. The phone is listening to everything I'm saying. My computer is listening to everything I'm saying. Not only that, I have a mic.
I know.
So I'm feeding everything that we're saying into this.
But say we like 18 minutes into the show. We ain't not to get started yet. But yeah, so that was the week. All good, man. Mm-hmm. I actually did have a legitimate topic. We've been talking about the last couple of weeks. We were supposed to do this a couple of weeks ago. Had some better things happen, just like so we kind of tabled this one. But we're going to get into talking about like sellouts, being a sellout.
Right.
It's one of the things we hear all the time, especially in the black community. You sell out, you sold out, you did all this, you did all that,
Hollywood.
That's what they say now, Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. People have been saying that for longer than I feel like the term sellout has even been out. Like I feel like it's like, oh, you leave wherever you used to live. I mean, maybe you hit it big, or you're just doing a little better, and people start calling you Hollywood, and it's like, oh. I sold out. Oh, I left and didn't come back. Here's the thing. My life is a lot better now. I still want to interact with you. You still the homie.
That's the thing. And I never forget, I'm be honest, the first time I heard that, they didn't call me directly one. But they kind of hinted towards it, right?
Right.
And it's one of those things I didn't really catch at first, and I went back later like, hold on, wait. What they say? I was pissed. Pissed. It's one of those things I always thought about because, we don't know the other side of the story.
Right.
A lot of times. Or, I used to always hear it with, entertainers and athletes, right? Mm-hmm. That's when you always hear it the worst. Like, oh, he ain't repping his city, he ain't repping his hood, he ain't doing all this stuff. And it's funny, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not even sure this is fact based, but it's been my experience. Yeah. that word it always comes from the side of the fence that's still in the hood.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You never hear from people that got out like, yeah, you sold out. No, it always comes back from the people, like, and it's, again, I think it's one of those perception things.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I remember when I said my experience, I was because I'm like, it goes back to one, kind of felt gossipy.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of felt like people who have no idea what they're talking about a lot of times.
Right.
There's a lot. That's such a layered thing to deal with.
Right. It is.
And it sparked a lot for me. One, I'm like, you have no idea. So I'm even taking it back to my situation because I know how I felt. Like, I grew up in a neighborhood where I'm not going to say it was like the hardest, the roughest, but it was a little hood, it was one of those situations where, I still have friends there. I still, we all kind of grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those situations where it was easy to get caught up in the mix.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All was going on. It was a little pocket,
Mm-hmm. No, I totally get you.
And it was real easy to get caught up in your surroundings.
Right.
It almost felt like, too, I don't know if you ever seen that M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village.
No.
I guess it's people, and they're living in like this time, like an older time period, and they don't even know that outside. I guess they've been like brainwashed and conditioned that if they leave the walls, it's like something's gonna get them or something, right? So they never left this little village. Mm-hmm. They don't even realize towards the end of the movie, this spoiler alert, whatever. Mm-hmm. One person gets out, but they're literally like eye shot from the city. And they have no idea because they've been in this little tiny pocket, this little village the entire time. And no one's there to venture out because of fear.
Right.
And so I find, especially in this area where we live, there's a lot of them little pockets around. Mm-hmm. So it's like people live in this little hood and they never venture out. Or if they venture out, they only venture where they're comfortable, like the store or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Things in the DMV. I used to work with young people. I used to do like mentoring programs and stuff. And it would always fascinate me that we would take teenagers, young adults, men, boys, black boys, right? Southeast DC, and I don't know if y'all know much about DC. It has a reputation. It could be a little hoodish, depending on where you're going. It could be a little rough. But Southeast DC is still in DC. It's literally across the river from downtown, government, business district, monuments, all that stuff, right?
Right. Like the National Mall.
Yeah. Literally. Right. You can walk the bridge. You can walk it. You can catch the bus. It's literally right there. Mm-hmm. So we used to take young boys, I'm talking about 15, 16, 17, 18 to 25, and literally do field trips downtown. We take them, Southeast sometimes, parts of DC, and even if we're in Baltimore, sometimes in Baltimore City, take them out to the suburbs, just different monuments, different, historic places, stuff like that. And we saw real fast that, like, these kids had never been over on this side.
Right. And how far was it?
Mile, 2 miles maybe.
Right.
Bridge, literally. Mm-hmm. Literally. They could walk it.
Right.
And you would think by this point in their life that they had if nothing else, wandered over there out of curiosity. They never did. Mm-hmm. And it always stuck with me. It was amazing for us. It was like, yo, they really don't know. And so it's like if somebody didn't expose them to this whole new world, which is literally, again, outside the village, they would have no idea. So not only do they see it, but then it's like they don't know what goes on over there. They don't know how things handle, the people, culture, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I remember thinking about those things when, in my situation, like, there's a whole bunch of people that have no idea. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then I think about, like, someone like myself, and I'll share my life. I grew up and I saw real quick, I know, again, out of my respect to my family, I'm not going to go into it too much, but, it was just not some good stuff going on.
Right.
I saw real quick, and luckily, because where I went to school, I went to school with a lot of other people from different backgrounds, people from different cultures, and I was able to make friends with them. And then I did stuff in school. I was a great student. I did other stuff in school. I played sports. So I was kind of able to see outside the village. And I started making friends outside the village. And if it wasn't for that, I started going outside the village. You know what I'm saying? And once I started seeing what was going on, and I saw how things were in the village, and I'm using that phrase for a reason, and I started seeing how things were interacting. I was seeing how, our people were acting.
Right.
And I started seeing, like, it was just ugly to me. So I was like, why do I want to be here? And then for my own situation, like I said, my family and stuff like that, I was like, why? So I made a decision early on. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get up out of here.
Right.
Because there's nothing good for me here. And of course I have friends and homies and stuff like that who didn't see it that way.
Right.
But so once I worked hard and I was able to kind of move, and stuff like that, you start seeing the world a little differently.
Right, you do, yeah.
A little differently, So it's like, if there's some negative stuff happening back there, why would I go back there? People and things are happening there that don't agree and don't align with what I'm doing right now. Why would I go back there? Why would I interact? Why would I do all that? Right. If me, because, but I knew the value of mentoring, pouring in, giving back, things like that. I was able to do indirectly, to still try to help situations back there. Right. But I wasn't going to kick it there.
Right.
Another thing, like, and a lot of people don't talk about this either. I had this conversation with a couple of my boys who were kind of like similar situations in mine. And I said, people don't understand the pressure of, being the person who made it out.
Right.
And that's where I feel like a lot of professional athletes, people who make it out financially, they come up, stuff like that. I don't think people understand the pressure that goes along with that, what happens when they do make it out. Now you're seen in a different light. You're treated a different way. But also, people begin to pull on you too. Like, there's a lot that comes with that. Now you got people hitting you up, asking you for stuff, even if it's not money, different things, access, all types of stuff. They want to get to you. It's a lot there. There's a lot of pull. Then, there's a lot of people who don't like to see that stuff.
Right.
You might have some haters. You might have people that run and talk and chatter and all that stuff and gossip and all that. So if you're that person, none of that sounds appealing.
Right.
I remember, like, and I'll be honest, like, I remember because, like I said, I moved out, I was 21. But my mom's, still lived over there, some family and stuff like that.
Right.
Go back, see mom, stuff like that. And I wasn't even, like, I'm 21 years old, scratching a claw,
right.
Make it, stuff like that. I had me and my homies, roommates, 4 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment and stuff like that. Trying to make it, we was just trying to make sure the rent got paid.
Right.
But the fact that I'm coming and going now. And then I would go back and people would be like, hey man, what's good, looking good, man, let me hold $1. Hey man, let me get like, so it was like every time I came back home, somebody's a burden, like somebody asked me something, somebody, and it's like, you have a good heart you want to give, but it's like, man.
That's that tug you were talking about.
Yeah. So it's like, well, none of this stuff makes it appealing. Nothing of that makes you want to go back.
Right.
And then again, like I said, then you got the grumblings and negativity and all that stuff. So it's like, oh, now is it even safe?
Now
okay.
Yeah, this is the part I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Like when you leave, but you come back and then people will harass you to help them.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, just like, and when I tell y'all, I'm not talking about like, we're talking about like, we know like professional athletes, entertainers, rappers, people like that who like they may be of a different financial bracket, at that magnitude, right?
Right. And they still leave.
Yeah. I'm talking about a lonely little guy working, just try and grind, but still seen, and people still see that low perception and stuff like that. I used to have people, I remember like, because I used to try to go back to like the little functions, a little kickback, little cookout, stuff like that.
Right.
Well, one year I went, and I could tell the shade. I could feel the shade. People, oh, that's Ken, because people call me, my name is Kenny, but I knew people would call me Ken, and that was like a term to like signify like talking white and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like it was.
I'm really sorry about this, but that's kind of funny. I'm sorry.
It's hilarious.
I'm sorry.
I know what time it is. So people are like, oh, Ken, that's Ken. And I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do here. I see what you're trying to do. So it's like literally, and this might sound arrogant, but it's not trying to be arrogant. But my whole thought was like, I don't have to be here.
That's true.
I'm coming because some of y'all, all my peoples, I still love you. But so it's like, how you get it both ways?
I don't think. See, this is the thing. I don't think you can.
That's what I'm saying. So how can you call somebody a sellout, and then when they do try to show come back around, you don't make it a comfortable place to be? So that's what I said. So then I think about like, damn. So think about people who have like who really have like exponentially made it out and financial and stuff like that. Like
like I lived in the same area till I was like 17, and then we moved over to the East Coast.
Yeah,
I didn't understand this place at all.
Yeah,
and I was just like, okay. And when I went back when I was in school, I would see there were some people that I saw from like high school that I would say what's up to, and it was a very low percentage, but still there were people that were like, no, I don't rock with you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no.
For what? Just because you moved.
I mean, I guess.
So it's like that shouldn't be your problem. But you know what are you supposed to do about that? So that's what I'm like, this is crazy. I remember, and I ain't gonna put nobody's name out there, but I remember there was a certain professional athlete in the Baltimore area who made it big playing basketball, right?
Okay.
And I remember like the celebration when he made it out, when he got drafted and all that stuff. Drafted, and it was like a huge celebration.
Right.
So I mean, he's gone. He's off playing in the NBA. A couple years.
He's still in the NBA today?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Is he balling out?
He was. He's a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna say no names. But I say that to say, I remember, like this in the basketball scene, because I used to coach basketball. Where I used to go upstairs, like we hear grumblings. Oh, he sold out. He don't come back around no more. He too big time. He big time, and all this stuff.
Nah.
And like I don't know that man for anything, right? But just to hear that about somebody else, like that's like, and again, I'm in a situation where like you can't really argue with this stuff, right?
Right.
But I'm hearing this like, I have no idea. Like there's literally like stuff named after him here. Like he's contributed. So even if he's not there, he still put resources and stuff.
He's still working on the community.
Yeah, when you hear him talk, he still talks about his home and stuff like that, right? But it was like, dang, what else you want from the person? Also, too, and let's like, this was a head scratcher. If somebody's a multi-millionaire, let's be honest. You live a different lifestyle.
No, absolutely.
do you really expect that multimillionaire to pull up in the hood?
With my super nice car.
Super nice car. Super nice clothes. Everything is he's rich. What do you expect?
Right.
What do you expect? The man is rich at this point. Like, so you expect him to like, I hate to say it like this, but you expect him to dumb it down?
Right. Oh, you expect me to leave my car here?
Yeah.
Bro, I remember, like,
You expect him to pull
then
up.
you get to start talking. Then y'all start to get to talk. Remember when we would rob cars like this? Remember when we would break stuff like this?
He done made like $200 million in his career, and he's expecting to pull up in a Civic? Like, no. Plus, also, they're busy.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
They're busy. Sorry, y'all. Things change.
Right.
Fortunately.
We all grow up. We all have to contribute to the society now.
We don't have time to kick it like that. And if he's kicking it, he's not going to do it in a potentially dangerous neighborhood.
Right.
Think of, like, and that's what I'm saying. People don't see stuff like that. There's another thing, like, why would I go back? This neighborhood is still somewhat dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you start getting to the point, you start getting older, and you like, man, we got kids and stuff now, fam. Like, I'm not. Mm-hmm. Y'all wasn't talking about the shooting a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Not a kid-friendly place.
Yeah. I still feel away. I still feel a way about that here, but like, also like, I mean, where I grew up wasn't. I mean, it wasn't totally like clean, but like at the same time, it wasn't as bad as this.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And again, and I'm not even gonna say where I grew up was the worst because it wasn't like that. But even the negativity, you know, I don't want my kids to see the dudes hanging out in the corner.
Right.
I worked hard to get away from that. I don't want that for myself, so why would I subject my kids to that? And I don't think so. I think there's a disconnect in perception of how we, you know, they're looking at it and we looking at it on this side of the fence, you know?
Right.
And so it's like, I don't know if that's going to change, but it's like, you know, if you try to understand it from those perspectives, you know, like I said, and I've had conversations with some of my other homies who, like I said, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and paint it like we doing big things, we balling. No, we just dudes who like fought to get out of the situation. And it was funny. I remember the first time I was having a conversation with somebody, and I didn't realize like me and him were on the same page about it. Like, yo, I felt like that too. We went through the same stuff, and it was like, you know, and it kind of spawned a whole thing. Like, we, you know, I even started shooting a documentary about it. You know, it's about the pressures of like when you're the one who made it out.
Right.
How your family views that. How you view that. Like, you know, I go back to that whole, remember that Dave Chappelle skit? Calvin started working at Whack Arnold's or whatever it was. And it was, Calvin got a job. Calvin got a job and everybody was happy for him. He's making fries. Calvin got a job, all this stuff. And then eventually how they turned on him. You know, remember he went home first. His girl was happy. He got a job. And then he goes home. You've been working all day. You've been working too long and all this stuff. She cheating on him and stuff now. And it was like, dang, my man was trying to come up. Everybody was happy for him. But then after a while, it's like, no. Or sometimes I look at American culture and I used to think like, especially when it comes to sports, like we cheer for the underdog. We cheer for them until they become the champion.
Right.
And then when they become the champion, if they keep winning, we turn on them.
Right.
Or they winning too much. Why they win so much? Give somebody else a turn. We wanted them to win. Then they win. Then you flip the switch on them. Like, why? I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
You know what I chalk it up to? We got to grow up.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just that simple. I think honestly, it's just that simple. It's like you can't be happy for the person that like they won, like your best friend just won a Grammy. You can't be happy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were in music class together. Yes. Okay.
That shade, that hate. Man.
Still, that's amazing for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Like, you know, people work hard for this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying other people don't, but sometimes it's not.
We gotta play the hand that we were dealt.
Yeah, it's a multitude of variables, but also sometimes, like that's what used to kill me. I'm like, I'm hearing this from people like, you can do the same thing.
Right.
Why not? So, you know, I don't know. They used to call them Monday morning quarterbacks, armchair coaches, people who did it's real easy to talk that trash from the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like y'all can do that too. What's up? But
right.
I don't know. So I never got So like I don't know this whole like sellout thing. Like like people, you know, like I don't. It's not about selling out.
Right.
People trying to come up in this world.
Right. We're just trying to leave the world better than we came into it.
Yeah, and people coming out of horrible situations.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get out of that situation, like they don't never look back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite lyrics, one of my favorite bars. Lupe Fiasco. Song called "Kick Push Part 2." Or is it Kick? Yeah.
Part 2 might be. I actually like Part 2 a little better than Part 1.
I do too.
Yeah.
Part 2 is probably it's one of my favorite songs in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, hold on, I gotta I'm gonna have to pull up the lyrics, but he says over his shoulders he swore he'd never look back. There wasn't nothing back there but the blackness. Life wasn't too attractive. And so we kick, push. Over her shoulder, she swore
she'd never look.
Because wasn't nothing back there but the blackness. Life
wasn't too attractive.
Those bars, man. That was my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I couldn't push. You know what I did? I went to school and I had a ball.
Right.
I remember
I didn't look back, right?
Because wasn't nothing back there.
When
they talk about blackness, they're not talking about skin. They talking about this dark times, bad situations, activity.
Talk about it.
Nothing.
Right.
And people keep pushing to get up out of there.
Aren't we all?
And you want to call them a sellout for it? No, I'm looking at the other side of the fence on this one here. You don't know what they do. You don't even know how they give back and help sometimes. You don't even know that stuff. And if they don't, oh well, that's them. That is, that's their prerogative. That's their choice. They don't have to.
Right.
It's for a lot of people, and I used to feel like this too, I'm going to get back to something they ain't give me nothing. People feel like that.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to give back. Every time you know, like, all this negativity stuff, people want to. People, they get burnt out from it.
Right. Some people get shut on for it. Yeah. Like, they want to give back, and then they get insulted for it.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot that goes into this. This is layered. It's a complex situation for a lot of people. And again, I'm not even talking about the upper echelon. I'm talking about the regular cats who might have made it out too, who just went. Calvin got a job.
Right.
You know, like I think about those people. That's not selling out. To me, selling out. Selling out is more like I'm purposely harming this place. Like I'm purposely like being petty and spiteful in some way, shape, or form.
You know what? Actually, just read this quote where it says the child that was left to that I think it was the child that struggled to survive will burn down the village to keep warm.
I can see that, yeah.
And I was just, and I was like, I like had to stop for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, that's true, because if you, okay, no, I think it's the kid that wasn't embraced, or
the kid that probably wasn't embraced or wasn't loved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
will burn down the village to keep warm, and that really hit me, because I was like, yeah, because if you're not showing love to this kid, to this person, what's stopping them from just either leaving or hurting themselves or hurting you?
Yeah, think about it. If they see no value, no stock, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying if they don't see a value in the village, what's going to hold them back from burning it down?
Right, or leaving.
You're leaving
and not coming,
right.
Not coming back.
These people didn't look out for me. These people didn't help me.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff happens in real situations.
Right.
Yeah, I see that. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So when I look at Sellout, I'm like, you so quick. Don't be quick to call someone a sellout, because one, you don't even know the situation.
Right.
Like I said, there's things that could be happening that you have no idea about.
Right.
You know, like not everybody broadcasts how they give back or what they do. Like some people just don't, they do it on the low.
Right.
Or they may do it in indirect ways.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of the things I felt like I was doing to give back, like that's why I started working with young people.
Mm-hmm.
Because my whole thing was, I said, man, if we can show these young men
right
what role models, what men look like, and we can show them and give them living examples, and hopefully we can kind of change their mindset a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a lot of dollars to give back,
Right. But you had knowledge.
Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, again, giving back is not always about money.
Right.
There's a lot of the ways you can help. There's a lot of the ways you can
volunteer.
Yeah. So that's why everybody's time somebody talk about help, it's always money.
Mm.
But it's not. So you have no idea what's going on, what people are doing. You don't know. People don't know.
Right.
So again,
helping can be as simple as signing a petition.
It can be something small.
Right.
It can be a word of encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes it's just being a living example.
Right.
A role model.
Right.
You can see. One thing I think about, like, for real, like, I look at somebody, like, and I've had conversations because my friends are athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just want to project a positive image.
Right.
Because they know people are looking at them. right?
You know that there are people like looking at them, seeing themselves, and saying, That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be."
Especially young people, especially for a lot of these athletes, like they know young men are looking at them. They know people are looking at them. They know eyes on them. What do? They present themselves with their best foot forward at all times. Mm-hmm. You know, that is a form of giving back. That is a form of help.
Right.
But sometimes we have to see it. We need to see examples. We need to have role models. We need heroes.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I said a couple weeks ago after Chadwick Boseman died, it really was like,
right.
We need, like, Black community needs to see heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at the times, like,
he was a huge hero.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on this tangent, but like Black Panther, the movie,
right?
First came out, I was one of them guys. Like, man, I don't know, I didn't see the value in the movie until I saw it. When I saw the reaction of the Black community.
Mm-hmm. No, bro, I pulled up in a native.
I watched these kids.
Right.
I watched my little nephew, like, Black Panther out.
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on me, like, yo, like, that's a hero.
Right.
Even if it's a fictional character, like, that's a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Chadwick Boseman was a hero. People looked at him like a hero. and they still always will.
Yeah.
Because we need to see it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like,
absolutely.
Like that man, I'm pretty sure he did all kinds of stuff. But one of the things we saw from him was we have his images.
Mm-hmm.
We have his words, you know.
We have his movies.
Yeah. So like even as an artist in his craft, but also as a person.
Right.
That's powerful. That's impactful, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Absolutely.
So
he made his, like, he had a real impact.
Yeah.
Not only on the Black community, but on the world.
On the world. And we got to see it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about and one of the reasons why I started this show, Community Coalition Show,
right.
came from an unsung community hero.
Right.
This show was first called the Tyrone Cole's Community Coalition Show. Tyrone Cole was unsung community hero.
Right.
People thought he was a street dude. They thought he was in the streets, and he helped more people than you could imagine.
Right. And I remember you telling me the story.
And lonely little street guy. No one ever thought this dude, he kind of looked like a little crackhead or whatever. When this man died, there were thousands of people at his funeral.
Right.
And they told his stories about all the unsung things he did to help his community. Not even
Absolutely.
Wherever he went. And people were shocked by this.
Mm-hmm.
They were so shocked that after his death, they continued his legacy and put initiatives and dollars and funding behind his name to keep this stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
That's the impact.
That's the legacy we're all trying to leave.
He didn't have a dollar to his name in life when he passed away. He didn't.
Right.
I mean, but this man helped. So I've never seen thousands of people like this at a funeral, people crying, people sobbing, people celebrating this man. To the reason I said, we got to keep this going.
Right.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, so that's why when people talk about sellouts and stuff like that, I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about a lot of times. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know these people. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know their life. You don't.
Right.
People come out of these situations with PTSD and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going on, man.
Right.
So
everybody's going through a struggle that nobody knows about.
Yeah, some of these situations are we hear some of the stories. Some of these situations are nasty, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's wrong. So I said again, I'm gonna wrap this up. Be careful. Really think, or if you
just watch the way you talk to people. Honestly,
don't throw that word out there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw that word out there.
Watch the way you're interacting with your homies.
Yeah. And to me, because like I said, it goes back. It's along the lines of gossip and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And we're older than that. This isn't high school anymore.
Yeah. And again, if you run around gossip with other people, you count other people's pockets, you watching how they move and stuff like that, that probably means you're not putting enough focus into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out. That's all I got, man.
Right. Okay. Hold up.
What we got?
Yep. Okay. Cool. So we have did you see the video of the Karen that was in the KFC yelling her head off to get some mashed potatoes and chicken?
I think so. Was that the one she wasn't wearing a mask or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like, this was one of the funniest videos to me. I'm sorry, but like, it was.
Because to me, I remember watching that. That was one of the ones I was thinking like, it kind of seems for show.
Right. The entitlement.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know if it's just like attention-seeking behavior sometimes. Some of these things look like they're just so outrageous where it's like, is this person really, like, is this real? This person really acting like this, or they just trying to be seen? Right. Or are we just starting to film these things now? Has this really been going on? So it's like,
I think honestly, we're starting to film these things, and trying to see.
Thing too, mental health issues are real.
Right.
Like you know, it's sad. It's unfortunate. Sometimes I watch these videos and you can clearly tell like this person needs some help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's scary because there's a lot of people walking the streets who need some help who could potentially
be a danger to themselves
or other people
or to the others.
Yeah, yeah. Like some of them have been, you know.
Absolutely.
So I saw that one. One thing I saw, was that this week or the one?
Which one?
Last week. Old white dude in the store talking big trash to the black dude. Hit me, all this stuff, and the black dude slumped him.
I did see that one.
I don't know if you sent it to me. Somebody said, but
I think I sent it to you.
And he's clearly provoking him.
Right.
You know, some boy, he kept calling him boy and all this stuff.
Yep, I did see that one.
All this, so the black dude finally had enough.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him the one hitter quitter. Gave him bop, bop, done, dropped him. And then, of course, what did I do? What did I holding his head? What did I do? What did I say? I remember, because I remember it was on Twitter, and and people were applauding it. And I remember I had to, you know, in response, just because it's hard to see, like, you get tired of these people, so finally somebody mollywops this dude.
Right.
And the black person you are, like, yeah, I'm tired of it, like, I want to slump him too.
Right.
And I said, we got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, that's the game they play.
Right.
Yeah, it's because as soon as he hit the ground, what did he do? He flipped the switch and played victim.
Mm-hmm.
I said, again, that's the one thing we have to be careful of, because now you're putting your hands into the legal system, which we all know the legal system is not for us. And that's the game they play. They bait us. They draw us in. They provoke us. They antagonize us. And then as soon as we cross the line, they got you. That's what it was like.
Right.
And we got to be careful with that, y'all. One thing we always talk about, what's the goal?
Get home.
Come home every night.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I know it's hard and it's frustrating when you got some old white dude calling you boy. And he up in your face and you can see the spitting and stuff come out of his face when he's talking and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard, man.
Right.
Hard. But is it worth it? Yeah, it may feel good for a couple seconds, and then the cops show up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a whole nother set of issues to deal with.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as much as I'm with y'all on that. Man, I was, you know, part of me was like, yeah, you know, got it. Mm-hmm. That's why it's almost like we have to work so much harder. We have to be so much smarter.
Mm-hmm.
We have to
Absolutely.
Discipline. And how to handle some of these situations. I don't know what happened to homeboy. I don't know what happened to dude afterwards. I haven't heard anything, but like, again, the mere fact that you don't want to put your hands or your whole life into the legal system at that point.
Right.
And then you get charged, now you got in trouble. You don't know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful, y'all. I know sometimes this stuff is gratifying to watch.
Right.
I also think about that homie. I think about, you know, his freedom and things like that too. So that was one I saw, you know, that I did respond to that one.
Mm-hmm.
What else you see? I know you got a couple
other. There was a policeman that beat black woman for exiting the wrong door.
I ain't watched that one. I think that was
that was.
And again, that's a conscious.
She got maced.
Wrong door. And again, y'all don't. That's not like a. That's not a reflex, y'all.
It's not a crime.
No, I mean, no. I'm talking about like that's not a reflex for him to do that. That was they want to do this.
Right. That was calculated.
Premeditated, all that. Like they're looking for us to slip up so that they can do what they want.
Right.
And again, traditionally they've had the covering of the legal system.
Mm-hmm.
Again, same thing. I know. I'm almost. It's like at some point, sometimes I have to shut Twitter off.
Right.
You
No, I
know,
feel you.
I have to take a break, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many of these videos and so many of these stories.
Every single day.
And then the
Every
conversation.
waking moment.
And you still got people out there that's saying crazy stuff on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like sometimes it's like, you know what, I gotta go do something. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
It's so outrageously crazy.
Absolutely.
That warrants her to get maced and beat on.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And then the worst one, in my opinion, the policeman that beat the beat dude that was in the lift.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry. His name is Roderick Walker.
Okay.
Why are you the man's not driving the car?
But you know what? It's not about. We know why. We know why.
Right.
Like we do. Like, and that's the one thing. Like, you know, I keep saying that. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? They don't. They don't like us. They don't want us around. They trying to get rid of us. They try and get us up out of here. Whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, conscious, premeditated decisions.
Right.
We use any transgression, any little minor excursion as a reason to go ham.
Right.
We know why. We know the why.
Mm-hmm.
Same reason. We know why. It's like I don't like. It's almost like how much more frustrated and angry can you be?
Right. That actually is something that we should talk about because, like, I was talking to my family about this, and I was saying that so like we're seeing all this stuff that's happening in the news, and then on top of that, we're seeing all this stuff, like you said, on Twitter that like all this injustice that's going on. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it is.
And not only that, it's almost impossible to care about every single thing.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's almost like sometimes it's hard to, you may not care, but it may emotionally move you still.
Exactly.
You know, because the first thing you think about, like, I know black men think about, like, damn, well, that could have been me.
Right. That's one of the biggest things that I always think about.
Dang, I be at the grocery store. Dang, I get pulled over. I be driving. Every little situation is like, it's a life or death situation now that I can see myself in that situation.
Living is now a life situation, like a life death situation for us now.
Living life. Remember back in the day, it used to be don't go to that neighborhood.
Right.
Be careful.
Don't go down that block.
If you in this neighborhood, be careful what you wear.
Mm-hmm.
Certain time of day. You know, I was just don't breathe. Like, walk outside the house.
Mm-hmm.
I told you one time I got pulled over walking outside my house.
Mm-hmm.
Not in my car yet.
Right.
Where you going? What you mean? Like, what? You questioning me? I ain't even got my keys to get in the car. You watch me walk on my door. You talking about where am I going? Like, we just trying to live life. The most basic things. Lift. Come on, man. Like, just trying to walk out of the store. Okay, might have been paying attention, might have been going the wrong way. Like, it happens.
No, what was said was that he didn't have ID.
Okay.
That was the reason.
Okay, that happens too. And that's again.
That doesn't warrant a beating.
No. But again, we know why.
Right.
We know why. These are things that have been happening for years and years. Finally, camera phone technology has caught up, and we can actually catch it in real time.
Mm-hmm.
We always hear the stories. We heard the stories when we were younger.
Right.
No, this is what happens. So
it is.
I continue. I mean, we hate to see it and stuff like that, but
mm-hmm.
we have to keep documenting these things. We have to keep recording.
Right.
If we stop, this isn't going to stop.
Right.
It'll only get worse. We have to continue to bring awareness to it somehow, some way.
Right. And it is getting worse. But at the same time, we need to keep documenting it. We need to work to get our justice.
Yeah, we have to. We have to.
And if like by any means necessary.
Yeah. One thing I live on this philosophy. I've had it since I was a kid. If I don't fight for me, no one else will.
Right.
If we don't fight for us, no one else will at this point.
Right.
That's what it's going to be. So we have to continue to fight. It is a multi-layered fight. There's a lot of different fights within the fight. Right. And you got to keep at all of them. Mm-hmm. So on that note, I mean, we touched a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, dang, at the end of the day, but on a brighter note, y'all, keep your heads up, y'all.
Yep.
There's still a lot of life to live. There's still a lot to do. There's find joy in the little things.
Mm-hmm. Also, never forget, get the book.
Get the book, man. Get the book. There's some good stuff in there. Pseudophysics says 1 and 2 at this point. There's a couple dope brothers in there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's a lot of dope brothers in there.
Absolutely.
Everyone besides me.
Hey, nah. Kenny's dope too.
No, but I say if nothing else, it got some motivational stories. There's some good knowledge in there, real brothers. And that's the one thing I will say. Like real dudes, like ain't too many ain't in that, and from the contributors in that book. They all real. So thank you for bringing us all together. Shout out to all the brothers, who contributed. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of us still talk, a lot of us still show love, support each other's stuff. That's why I say they real dudes. A lot of them dudes, even like I look at them as mentors and inspiration, big brothers and homies and stuff like that.
Right. Like I see you as a mentor.
That's what we got to do, like mm-hmm. If you got homies around, like pull each other up.
Right.
You can help hold each other accountable, continue to encourage each other, hold each other up. When your man is doing something great, congratulate him, shout him out. Mm-hmm. If he's not, maybe have a conversation. Like, hey fam,
right.
Don't shun him. Sometimes don't shun him, don't turn your back.
Right.
Hey fam, I just want to have a conversation. This is something I see. We just want to hold you down.
Yeah. Everything could be solved. Yeah. It can be solved with a conversation. We don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Because we're so 0 to 100, and it's like the first thing you want to do is you want to throw a punch. But we could talk this through. If we throw a punch and not think about it, it can have it. It won't end well.
Yeah.
Or sorry, let me not say that. It doesn't always end well.
Yeah. Good. All right. So on that note, man, we've done our thing. Again, you know where to find us. Mm-hmm. Go to listenshow.com.
Yep.
Check out the podcast. Check out the YouTube. Click the link for the merch. We got some merch going.
Yep.
Like I said, some dope dollars, are contributing to the thing.
Hey, so we're building this up.
Yeah. One thing also, too, if you listen to this, show love. Like, share.
Come to our defenses online, please.
Yeah, man, because, people becoming crazy sometimes.
Right. Also, wear a mask. Show some love to your brother. Show some love to your sister.
Protect your mentals.
Protect your mentals. Protect your energy.
Yep. All that. And until next week, y'all, we're going to holler at y'all, but we're signing this off.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.